Okay, starting back at question number 7, this is video number 2 of the Chapter 1 review. The first video has problems 1 through 6. Another reminder, your question may be slightly different than mine because with this program it generates questions for every problem, every student, and so it might be different, but it should be very similar in nature. So this one says find the slope if it exists, and it tells us that the line is x equals negative 2. If you think about what that line looks like, hopefully you remember that all vertical lines are x equals, so this would be the line x equals negative 2, and if they asked for y equals negative 2, that would look like that'd be a horizontal line. So x equals negative 2 is what they're talking about. The slope of a vertical line is undefined. You've got to remember that an x equals line is vertical and its slope is undefined. A y equals line is horizontal. Its slope is 0 if they ask me that. So this would be that the slope is undefined. Next says, what's the slope if it exists? So y equals 2/5 x plus 6. The slope is the number in front of x. Y equals mx plus b is our standard form. So in this case, this slope of this line is the slope is 2/5. All right, next. Determine the slope if it exists of the graph. This is just y equals 2.4. So it's like the one we looked at here where I had y equals negative 2. Y equals 2.4 would be something like this. Y equals 2.4. So the slope of that line is 0. It is a horizontal line. All right, my slope is 0. Don't get confused. It's not 2.4x. It's just a 2.4. All right, this one says find the slope and the y-intercept. The slope is, it says type an integer or a simplified fraction. So in this case, it's a fraction. It is 3/4. In other words, you can't do 3 divided by 4 and get 0.75. Even though 0.75 is the slope, it's not accepted for this question because they want an integer or a simplified fraction. All right, what is the y-intercept? And here it says type an ordered pair. So normally I'd say the y-intercept is -7. But here for this one, they want the ordered pair. So I put the point 0, -7. All right, that's how we do that. Question number 11. They want me to graph this line. X plus 4y equals 8. Lots of ways you can do this. We'll talk about a couple of them, even though it's going to take me a few minutes. X plus 4y equals 8. You can do this by intercepts. The x-intercept would be found by plugging in 0 for y. So I get x plus 0, so x equals 8. And then the y-intercept we found by plugging in 0 for x. So I get that the y-intercept is 2. So there's one option. Start with 2 on the x-axis, 2 on the y-axis and 8 on the x-axis and connect those. Let's see, 2 on the y-axis and 8 on the x-axis. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is if this is your line, x plus 4y equals 8, you can solve it for y, subtract x, and that gives you 4y equals -x plus 8, and then divide by 4, and so you get y equals -1/4 x plus 2. So the y-intercept is 2, and the slope is -1/4. So if you look over here, look what I've got. I've got slope, I've got 2, and then you go down 1/4. That's this next point. So either way, you're going to get the same line. It just depends on whether you want to do intercepts or you want to solve it for y. Check my answer, and it says I've got that correct. Problem number 12. Kara's Custom Tees experienced fixed cost of $400 and variable cost of $2 a shirt. Write an equation that can be used to determine the total expenses encountered by Kara's Custom Tees. Let X be the number of shirts, and let C of X be the total cost of producing X shirts. Then calculate the cost producing 8 shirts. So first I've got to write the equation. So they tell me to use C of X. So I'm going to start out C of X equals, and I've got fixed costs of $400, and then it's $2 a shirt, and they say let X be the number of shirts. So my equation is going to be 400 plus 2X. C of X equals 400 plus 2X. Let's try that. And they already start out with C of X, so all I have to do is type in 400 plus 2X. And that is the equation. The next thing they want to know is how much is it going to cost to produce 8 shirts. So I'm just going to plug in 8 for X. It'll be 400 plus 2 times 8. That looks like 416 to me. 416. Okay. Next question is, right, around to number 13. Yep. Find the slope-intercept equation of the line that has the given characteristics. They tell me the slope and the y-intercept. So I'm going to write the equation. It says type your answer in slope-intercept form. Use integers or fractions for any numbers in the equation and simplify your answer. So that's going to be y equals negative 9/5 x. Don't forget your x. Some people forget the x. And then the y-intercept is negative 7, so I'm going to put minus 7. Y equals negative 9/5 x minus 7. All right. Number 14. This was a little bit harder. They tell me the points that it goes through, but I've got to find the slope-intercept form of the line. So it's going through negative 4, 1. So let me come over here and get a piece of paper. Negative 4, 1. Notice I'm not just doing these problems by guessing. I'm actually working them out. 3, negative 20. Make sure I got that right. Negative 4, 1, and 3, negative 20. So first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to find the slope of this line. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Negative 20 minus 1 will be negative 21. 3 minus negative 4 is 7. Negative 21 divided by 7 will give me a slope of negative 3. Then I'm going to use one of these 2 points for my x and y. I'll just use this first one. So I'm going to plug in the y equals mx plus b to find b. So I use 1 for y, negative 3 for m, negative 4 for x, and I'm looking for b. So that's 1 equals 12 plus b. Subtract 12 from both sides, and I get negative 11 equals b. So there's your slope, there's your y-intercept. The equation is going to be y equals negative 3x minus 11. Y equals negative 3x minus 11. And that is correct. All right, I'm going to pause this here, and I will pick up with question number 15 in a few minutes.